Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Want to thank you for stopping by the Jury by BDK YouTube channel. I know you didn't come here for a sermon. So here's the video. And guess what? We'll talk. Well, hey family, happy Saturday. This is Darlene stopping by real quick. So I ran out to Hobby Lobby. I was supposed to go yesterday, but I didn't. I did make it out this morning after I went for my walk, right? And I was like, do I really want to go to Hobby Lobby or do I not want to go to Hobby Lobby? I really didn't want to go to Hobby Lobby, right? So my shoes was off and everything, and I was getting ready to get undressed and change my clothes. But the Holy Spirit kept nudging me like, put your shoes on and go to Hobby Lobby. It's good that I went to Hobby Lobby because when I got to Hobby Lobby, it was a lady in there and we started chit-chatting. And she was telling me that she sells at Seaport Village here. I think she said 5 days a week, and they have like a lottery every October, right? So every October they have this lottery for, people to sell their goods and all that good stuff. And I was just like, oh wow. So anyway, I'm showing her what it is that I do, and she said, oh my God, oh my God. So anyway, she gave me the lady's phone, somebody's phone number that I'm to contact. So contact this lady. Once I contact her, then we'll see what happens from there. But see, and I talk about that all the time about obedience, because I was like, I don't feel like going to Hobby Lobby. I don't feel like putting my shoes back on and going outside and fighting the traffic because it's busy out there. And I was just like, I just don't feel like it. But when I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. So when I went, the blessing in that, right? Just being able to talk to someone that had some information, because I had heard about Seaport Village before. And this might have been like a year, maybe 2 years ago, somebody was telling me about it, but it was like in brief conversation. It wasn't very in detail like this lady was talking about. So she was giving me some real good information. I said, oh, you know what? I'll check into that too. But anyway, but anytime that happens, like it's this nudging, it's like, okay, let me get up and go. But anyway, I got some seed beads, and I got the seed beads. And the reason why I got the seed beads, because I had a thought to cover some beads and some seed beads, because I wanted some of these beads, well, beads that look like this, beads that are covered in like seed beads, right? They cost more than what I want to spend, and I couldn't find any that was 20 millimeter. So I said, you know what? I can paint my own beads, and I don't really think I even need to paint the beads, but yeah, I think I would paint the beads because I painted these black. So these are black 20 millimeter beads that I painted. And then I went ahead and started covering them with the seed beads. Now, the thing with that is, if they didn't come out right, it's cool because the seed beads were on sale. So I think I paid $2.25 for this tube. So my thing is, oh, okay, well, they're on sale. And if they would have been like regular price, the it looks like whatever it was, $4.50 or something, I probably wouldn't have bought this big tube. I probably would have got a small tube, just to try them out. But the thing is, oh, okay, well, they have off. So I'll go ahead and get the big tube. And then if they don't work, oh, well. Disappointment alert. E6000, I don't know what the company is doing, but I literally just bought this morning. Where my receipt at? But anyway, I just bought this morning, right? So brand new tube. You could always tell because of the top. See the top? I just got it this morning. And I've only used enough glue to cover 2 beads, right? And this is literally what this tube already looks like. It's almost empty. Like there's nothing in it. So the thing with that is, if all this glue was at the bottom, it probably stops about right here. It probably would fill up about right here. So we're not even getting a full tube of glue. Look at that. That's flat. So they put a bunch of air in here and put just enough glue. It's like, wow, for $3.99. And I'm like, this is like crazy. And I think the last one I bought, was it like $5.99, $4.99? I don't know what it was, but I'm just like, less. But anyway, what I'm doing is covering these beads. So all I'm doing is, if you guys are interested, all I'm doing is taking the bead, and I'm going to take this almost empty tube E6000 company, and I'm going to put some glue on the beads. And that's another thing too, though. If you do like resin, you can, if you do some of these beads like this, you can probably resin these things afterwards too. But my thing is to put enough E6000 on here to where the beads are literally covered with the E6000, and they would pretty much, I'm gonna put some, I think maybe some sealant on here afterwards too, maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to make a bracelet for myself, and I'll see how good, how good it holds up. So I'm going to do that, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to just roll this in these beads like this. That is all I'm going to do. Just roll them in the beads. Take some of the beads and drop them on there to fill in the little spaces. And then just go ahead and pat around it. One thing about the E6000, the good thing is it tacks really quick. It gets tacky really fast. So I like that. And then what I'm going to do with these, I'll let these sit overnight. So a good 24 hours. And then they should dry pretty good and cement pretty good. Because isn't this called cement? I thought I seen a word that said cement on it. Adhesive. So this is all I'm doing and covering these beads. Because I wanted some of these, and I was like, I seen some, I think I might have seen them on Etsy, but I didn't like the price. And I was like, I'm going to cover my own beads, especially if the seed beads are a good price right now. So I did pretty good as far as like the seed bead price. And you see how it's starting to slide. So you just got to keep, just keep doing this until it tacks real good. It meaning until the E6000 gets nice and tacky. So it's basically just keep rounding it around. Because my thing is, if I put just a little thin coat of E6000, that lessens the security of the bead, like really sticking. So I figure if I bathe the bead basically in the E6000, that betters the chance of the bead actually staying stuck to the bead. And also painting it with a matte paint, because it seems like the beads have a real soft, smooth finish on them. So I don't know if the company put something on them, like some type of gloss or something, but I would think that it would make it kind of slippery if I don't put paint on it, right? So I want the E6000 to adhere. So I don't want it to come off. Want the beads to come off. So as long as you keep doing this around it, that E6000 gets tacky, and then it starts to dry. And then all I'm doing is I'm going to just keep shaping this. And if I see any vacant spots, some spots look vacant only because those are black beads. So you can see the black beads, and those black beads make it look like an empty spot, but it's not. So I'm going to just keep doing this around. And it just takes a couple of seconds, minute or two, I guess. And then do I see a spot up here? I do see a spot up here. I want to put some glue. So I am going to do a couple of these. Maybe 4 or 5 of them. So I just need a little glue right there. we'll grab a colored bead. Put that right there. Might be able to put 2. And then we're just going to keep shaping it around. And then this is what the bead comes out looking like. Just make sure we're shaping it. And that E6000 is hardening up. I can see these with some resin on it. You know, for people that use the resin, if you did this, wait, I need to put some more right here, I think. If you did some beads like this, I don't too much be messing with the resin and stuff, so I think I want to put a little bit right here. Push that through, because we don't want it to stick, so we'll put another bead right there. And then we'll see how that works out. So, and this is what the beads come out looking like. I like them though. What you guys think? So the beads are just kind of soaked, like sitting in the E6000. That's why you see me just keep doing this, to keep shaping it so it does stay. So you do have to do this for a couple of minutes. Shoot, what, maybe about 5 minutes. So these do take time. And that's okay, because I do like them. I know when I saw them, I was like, shoot, I like those. And then I also saw some beads. I started to buy the flatbacks. And then, you know, like use the flatbacks. But then when I was in the store, I was like, nah, that ain't what I came in here for. I came in here for some seed beads. So I said, okay, well, let me get the seed beads instead of the flats, because I looked at the flats and I saw like all the pretty colors and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I came for seed beads. I don't think the flats were on sale either. Were they on sale? They might have been. I don't know. But I said, let me just go ahead and get the, let me just go ahead and get them seed beads. So this is what they look like. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple more of these. So all I did was went ahead and painted my beads first to put a nice matte finish on them. Then I went ahead and put some E6000, covered these beads, and then put the beads on a Q-tip. And you might have something else that you could use, a stick or something that this fits. You know, that it fits and will allow you to roll the beads. So all I did was put that E6000 on there. As you can see, roll it in the beads, cover it real good. And then you do have to make sure you keep shaping it around like this. So that, because for a second, the E6000, it will just kind of slide and run a little bit. But the good thing about it is it tacks up real fast. So it starts to dry really fast, and I like that. It's not dry, but it does dry pretty quickly to where it keeps the beads, you know, like in place. As long as I'm shaping them and doing this to it, it'll keep the beads in place. So this is this one. So I'm going to sit it and let it just dry completely with the rest of these. And I can probably end up using these probably tomorrow. I can probably use these tomorrow. And then what I'm going to do is once they dry, I'll go back over them and see if there's any that will come off, you know, like kind of rubbing my finger across to see if any is going to come off. And if they come off, I can just go ahead and glue them back on, and then maybe cover in some spots if I need to. Like right here at the top, I'll come back and put a couple beads right there at the top. You see that part? And just to cover that, like so it'll be covered all the way like this one. So I'll let these dry. I am going to do a couple more. And I like these. You guys let me know what you think. If you've ever done these like this, covered these beads and covered beads and seed beads. Or even if you ever bought any beads like this, and if you bought them like this, did they have the resin on them? Or were they just like this and they lasted? because I like these already. And I'm thinking I'm going to probably get like some gold ones, like different colors and stuff, right? And then maybe use these for something else, because I'm also thinking I want to put them on the ends of these black ones, like right here. So paint these, not paint them, but put the gloss on here. So they'll be nice and glossy just on this part right here, not around the edge, because I'm going to glue, you know, the things on the edge, the beads on the edge. So I can get a couple of these and maybe make some earrings or necklace or something. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, happy Saturday to everybody. I hope you're having a really good day. And guess what? We'll talk.